You're done with the match. You're exhausted. You're 5 XP away from your weekly drop, and now you're forced to queue again. A massive waste of time. I've been playing this system on 12 different accounts for a hot minute now, and that exact problem is a massive time sink. But this isn't about just time, it's about maximizing your armory pass stars and your shot at the M4A1S fade. If you don't know the exact formulas, multipliers, weekly timers, then you're throwing away your drops. This is the CS2 XP system fully explained. You'll never fall short again. The XP system in CS2 is, well, kind of overcomplicated for what it really is. There's so many pitfalls that you can encounter without even realizing it. So I'll do my best to explain it in a way that even a silver can understand. You just need to play the game. What? Depending on the game mode you're playing, the amount of XP you can get can wildly vary. But you can look at it in two different categories. There's score-based XP, and it simply gives you XP depending on your score, and literally nothing else. This encompasses deathmatch, arms race, retakes, and casual. And then there's also round-based XP, and it doesn't care about your individual score. It only gives you XP for each round you win. And this is Premier, Competitive, and Wingman. But generally, round-based is much more volatile, because if you speedrun 13-0 in comp, this is by far the fastest way of gaining XP. But on the flip side, if you didn't win a single round, then you actually just wasted your time and you get a big fat 0. Score-based is a lot more consistent, where as long as you're playing the game, you're guaranteed to get XP, although it's usually in much smaller amounts, unless you go absolutely crazy. All right, but let's actually talk numbers. So to qualify all this, you get base XP times bonus XP, which depends on how much XP you've already gained this week. Just like the drops every Tuesday or Wednesday, depending on your time zone, everything resets. It's 6 p.m. Pacific time, so just convert that to your time zone. Tier 1, for the first 4,500 XP, you get a 4 times multiplier, actually goated. And then after 4,500 up until 7,500, it halves to just a 2 times multiplier. And then after that, from 7,500 to 13,000, you just get a normal 1x multiplier, so the typical base XP. Anything after that applies a painful 0.175 multiplier, and at this point, it's not even worth playing for the XP. The smartest way to play, if you really want to maximize your drops across multiple accounts, just go for 1 level a week and you're absolutely golden. You can only get 1 drop a week, so there's no reason to over level. And the best use case, so if you're just playing on 1 account, you don't really have to worry, but if you're playing on multiple accounts like farming drops, you definitely need to have a pretty solid understanding of how the system works, because then you can really get the most out of it. Also, if you have any armory passes and just want to earn the stars as fast as possible, there isn't any XP degradation. You effectively earn 1 star for every 1,000 XP you gain, give or take. I don't know if that's the exact number, but it's somewhere around there. So let's dive into the formulas so you actually know where to spend your tier 1 bonus time. The formula is base XP times bonus XP times rounds 1. In Premier and Competitive, you get 30 base XP per round 1. And if it's one of your first matches of the week, so you're still in tier 1, that's 30 times 4 or 120 XP per round. A fast 13-0 win will net you exactly 1,560 XP, and an overtime win will give you 1,920. Wingman is pretty much the same idea, but the base XP is only 15 per round, so literally half. For the score-based game modes, deathmatch, casual, retakes, and arms race, this is where it gets a little bit more interesting, but all the math is still simple once you know the calculation. So deathmatch, in my opinion, is the best game mode for XP. So you get 0.2 base XP per point, assuming tier 1 bonus XP. You can take your score at the end of the game and multiply it by 0.8. Another way to do it is, if you want to figure out exactly how much XP you need to get without going over or while going over, you do the amount of score you need, then you divide it by 5, times it by 4. Now, if you're on the reduced XP, then you just times it by 2, then times it by 1, and so on and so on. And then if you have a certain amount of score and you just want to see how much you're going to get, you do your score times 5 divided by 4. So you just flip the equation. This is how I consistently get within a couple XP of getting the drops every single time. And it really optimizes the whole 12 account grind. Also, I need to mention that there is a cap at 1,000 score, which at tier 1 is 800 XP. I mean, honestly, for a 10-minute game, it's not too bad, but if it's a sweaty lobby, good luck. For casual, the base XP score is 4. So the calculation would be 4 times bonus XP times your score. Arms race is probably one of the worst modes. The base XP is only 1, and you only get 1 score per kill. It's basically basically just bonus XP times whatever your score is. However, though, it is the quickest mode to play through, so it's technically the quickest if you're like 5 XP away from your drop, which I'm always in that situation. So with retakes, the base XP is 2, so effectively like double your bonus XP times your score. But retakes does have a big caveat. It's a 2-minute warm-up timer if the lobby isn't full, making it way harder to consistently farm rounds. Retakes isn't really that great for XP, but it is fun and it is really good practice. And here's a critical caveat. For any score-based mode, if you're the only player in the lobby and you're just farming bots, you get 0 XP if nobody else is in the lobby at the end of the match. And also for score-based modes, you need to 100% finish the match to get the XP. If you leave early, you get nothing. At least that's how it usually works. But then again, who knows? For round-based modes though, it is a little bit more nuanced. You still get XP for all the rounds you won while in the game, but if you leave or get kicked, you don't really have to worry about losing the XP earned up until that point. Everybody hates getting kicked, but if it does happen, like if you have a really toxic team, at least you still get some XP for it after the game ends. Here's an example of why deathmatch is so much better than comp for actually earning XP. To be fair, this is also kind of an extreme example, but it took 13 minutes to find a match, and we got queued against multiple cheaters. Luckily, one of our teammates toggled. We got 6 rounds on the board. The comp game, including the queue, took 45 minutes, and we only got 720 XP. Immediately afterwards, I played a single game of deathmatch, got 1,000 score, and we got 800 XP. Even more, and it only took 10 minutes. So deathmatch is so much better. Any XP you earn from the weekly challenges doesn't affect the cap at all. They're completely separate, and they're actually a no-brainer. Think about it this way. Normal XP you gain is taxed towards your bonus XP for the week. Anything you earn from the weekly challenges is completely tax-free. As long as you earn over 500 XP from these challenges, you are totally good to go. You'll stay in tier 1 for the full 5,000. I mean, it's effectively the quickest way to do it. But there's usually 2 types of weekly challenges. So there's either competitive or premier on a certain map where you have to, for the first tier, you win 5 rounds for the first 300 XP, win 11 for another 350, and then win 18 for an additional 400 for a total of 1,050. And the quickest way you can do this is in 2 games, which can be a little time consuming, but if you win both, then you're pretty much good to go. And the other set of challenges require you to get frags with using a certain weapon on a set map pool, whatever map pool they decide for that week. Typically it's the community map pool, but they can vary it a little bit. And it effectively uses the exact same 3-tier system, and it typically requires about 80 kills total, but it's either 80 if it's like actual good weapons, or it's 40 if you have to use like shotguns, pistols. And this tax-free XP safely gives you enough of a buffer to not have to worry about your bonus XP dropping for your current level. So it speeds things up so much. You can also figure out for the most part what the upcoming challenges are going to be. So they follow a general pattern like this: competitive, deathmatch, comp, deathmatch, comp, deathmatch, comp, DM. So it's typically not that hard to figure it out. However, though, it could always change. Treat the pattern with a grain of salt for now. In my opinion, though, since I do grind 12 accounts for drops every week, I definitely prefer deathmatch because, I mean, I can't be bothered to play over 24 matches on the same map every week. And it's also typically the less popular maps like Anubis, Train, Vertigo, or Office. I mean, I don't mind playing them a few times, but eventually it gets to a point where I just want to play something else. So deathmatch is way more fun. So remember, it's not just about playing the game, it's about being smart with XP right after the weekly reset if you want to maximize efficiency. But now you know exactly how it works as of the beginning of February 2026. And honestly, who knows? Like maybe in a few months from now, Valve will completely rework it. Who knows? Like it's Valve. They do their thing. Thank you so much for watching. Subscribe with the bell, like the video if you liked it, and I'll see you guys in the next video. It's Turbo, and I'm out. Peace.